Hi, welcome to MoA Art Snack for Kids. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Twyla, and this is Toffee.
And today we're going to be talking about this piece by Michael Madrid called Screech Owl. This is part of our M.A.S.K exhibit at the museum. And instead of actually making a mask, he made his mask into a sculpture of an owl. So we're going to do the same thing. I thought I'd take a second to talk about some other artists who use animals in their work. This is Zodiac Heads by M.A.S.K. He does all kinds of different works, but these works in particular are bronze, and he's using the Chinese zodiac. So there's a lot of animals in here. There's a dog, there's a monkey, there's a rooster. These were on display down in Denver last year. You might have seen them there. Another piece I wanted to talk about is one of my favorites. This is called Game Fish, and it's by Larry Fuente. This is at the Smithsonian Renwick Gallery in Washington, D.C. With this piece, what he did is he took a swordfish and he added all kinds of little bits and pieces and toys, and it still looks like a fish, but it's definitely a super cool fish. And the last piece I wanted to talk about, this is a piece by Natsumi Tomita. Twyla, what do you think that is?
Chameleon.
We think it's a chameleon, and it's a chameleon made out of all kinds of little pieces of tin and different kinds of metal. So these are three different ways artists have depicted animals. But let's look a little closer at Michael Madrid's Screech Owl. For this piece, he really made it look like a realistic owl. And our owls are going to be made out of toilet paper tubes, so they're going to look kind of funny, but also you can go realistic if you want to. What you need for this project are some toilet paper tubes, some glue, some scissors, pieces of fabric or paper or newspaper, maybe some buttons or some googly eyes or some bottle caps for the eyeballs. And if you don't have any of those things, you can always use markers or colored pencils. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take your toilet paper tube and you're just going to press in from the sides. 1, 2. And do you see how it gives your toilet paper tube those famous ears that owls have? And you can see on Michael Madrid's piece, the ears. And then what you can do is you can take markers or whatever you want and start to cover the pieces, the owl with different coverings. What are you going to use, Twyla?
I'm going to use...
Are you going to finish working on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what?
This is pig.
And what are you using on it?
I'm using magazine clippings.
Okay, you keep covering that, and I'm going to start mine. I think I'm going to use some fabric for mine.
And you can always do one from a character of a book like mine. This is Hedwig and this is Pig.
Right, so you can, we're reading a lot of Harry Potter during this time at our house, so Twyla is doing a lot of Harry Potter owls. She even made a Harry Potter snow owl, which was pretty cool.
Its name's Hedwig.
Named Hedwig. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking some fabric and I'm just putting it all over the place, kind of like feathers maybe, or just kind of covering it with different colors, kind of thinking about that game fish piece. You know, how can we make it an owl but make it a pretty kind of fun owl? So I'm going to put more glue on there. Notice how I'm not putting a ton of glue, just enough to let that fabric stick on there, okay? We're just going to cover it. And you don't have to cover the whole thing if you don't want to. You can even just use markers. You can see this one, we did markers on it. And you can overlap a little bit. You can kind of do your owl however you want. Could you make a purple owl if you wanted to, Twyla?
Yep.
Sure, that's fine. Because this is your owl. Put a little bit more glue. I'm going to do the ears. Those are an important part. And some owls have kind of those feathers up top that look like ears, and they look really, really long, like a horned owl. And some of them are a little bit smaller, like our screech owl here. And let's look. We always like to look back at what we're trying to do. Okay. I'm almost ready for some eyeballs. What about you, Twyla?
So am I.
All right. A little bit more glue. So now, since I used fabric for the covering of my owl, I think maybe I'm going to use some paper for his wings. So I'm gonna cut out some paper wings. I'm just gonna take a piece of white paper that I've got here. I'm just gonna go, and you can trace your wings out too if you feel more comfortable doing that. I'm just gonna cut kind of a little wing shape and another little wing shape. Do you want some wings too, Twyla? What are you gonna use for your wings?
Cut me some long paper wings?
I'll let you do it. So what I'm gonna do is put the glue on the side and just put a little wing there. And could you color on these wings if you wanted to?
Sure.
Sure. A little piece of glue, another little wing. All right. Got your wings cut out, Twyla? Make it look a little bit like a wing. Okay. Twyla's gonna put her wings on. There's your glue. Nice. All right. What comes after wings, Twyla?
Eyes.
Eyeballs? Okay. What are you going to use for eyeballs for you?
I think I'm gonna use
How about these?
eyeballs.
Are these too big?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, there's some googly eyes for you. I'm going to use buttons, I think. So I'm going to put a dollop here and a dollop here. And pick out some buttons,
We
maybe.
just had some different size googly eyes, so I'm gonna use these.
One button. And do your eyes need to be the same size?
Nope.
Not necessarily. There's my two eyes. What else do we need?
A beak.
A beak. Let's see, maybe I can find some kind of cool button here that'd be a good beak.
I'm gonna draw my beak.
Good idea. Here's a nice bead I'm going to use for a beak. Use your glue. My glue's not working too well. There we go. Okay. And there's my beak. This is my beak. Now again, if you don't have googly eyes or buttons, you can just simply draw some eyeballs on a piece of paper. You could also go outside and find some rocks and glue those on for eyes and a beak. It's up to you because it's your owl. Okay? There's your glue.
Thank you.
And make sure you go to the MoA website, www.moask.org, and show us your owls. Okay, and there's our finished owls.
Pig. What's your name?
I'm gonna name mine Mortimer. Mortimer the owl.
Pig the owl.
Thanks guys, see you next week.